Kamen Rider! Back!
What's up, you guys? Godzilla fan freaks, aka Kamen Rider fan freaks, coming at you today with another figure review. And today we are taking a look at the Figma from Max Factory action figure series, Kamen Rider Zolda, or if you watch the Americanized version of Kamen Rider Ryuki, Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, he was known as Kamen Rider Torque. But I will be referring him to Kamen Rider Zolda because that's how I know him best from the Kamen Rider Ryuki series, not the American adaptation. But a little bit of backstory on this figure. This figure is actually something that was picked up from my buddy Matt from Monstrosities, a channel of Tokusatsu. He went to Japan, and it was last November now. He basically goes to Japan every year around November. He makes a yearly trip out of it, and, he's always on the lookout for goodies and stuff like that. And I kind of gave him a small list of kind of like maybe what I'm looking for and everything like that. And he actually came across and found this Kamen Rider Zolda figure from Figma. And I told him, definitely pick that up. I will definitely take that. And in all honesty, this is a really solid figure. There are some differences between Figma and like SH Monster Arts, or, like SH Figuarts from Tamashii Nations and stuff like that. But in reality, if you were to just have this guy on a shelf with other Kamen Rider figures from Tamashii Nations and stuff like that, I would not think any different. I would think that this is a Tamashii Nations figure. He looks great. Detail is good. Articulation's good. There's a very small difference in like size comparison. Like he's just a little bit smaller of a scale than like an SH Figuarts figure, but he still fits in well and will look great with your other Kamen Rider figures. I really did like Zolda from Kamen Rider Ryuki. His whole persona. If you don't know much about Kamen Rider Ryuki, I'm not going to spoil too much. But again, it's very Highlander-esque. As I've stated before, it reminds me of the Highlander series. It just gives that feel. Every rider is basically fighting for their own cause, their own reasons. And Zolda here, his alter ego, his human form, he's basically I don't want to say stuck up, but he's a lawyer, and he just thinks he's all that and more with the ladies. He thinks he's very much a ladies' man when he's ultimately not. He comes off a little cringy, a little goofy, but the character itself is awesome. He turns into this green Kamen Rider. He's got guns. He's got a giant cannon thing. And it's just really funny. It's one thing I do like about Kamen Rider Ryuki is how every rider, of course, is a different person, and those people are all fighting for different things, but it's also their personas. Kamen Rider Ryuki's like a journalist. Kamen Rider Zolda here, he's like a lawyer. Then you have Kamen Rider Guija, the purple one, the snake guy, he's like a serial killer murderer. It's like, so you have all these different personas that become Kamen Riders in this series, and it's a fun, wild ride. So I definitely recommend Kamen Rider Ryuki. I didn't really like it at first. The whole card system was a little weird, but it grew on me. The suits grew on me, and Kamen Rider Ryuki is definitely one series I can recommend. It's fun. But enough talking about all that and all the backstory and everything. Let's take a look at this figure by taking a look at the box. Figmas do really nice boxes. I haven't gotten a Figma figure in a long time, but really nice box. You have the symbol here for his whole thing because every Kamen Rider in this series has like a creature or an advent monster that they basically kind of coexist with, and that's kind of where their powers come from, and then the whole card system ties into all that. So you got Ryuki, who has a dragon, Kamen Rider Knight, which has like a bat, You know, the purple one, he has like a giant snake. There's a rhino. There's this guy has like a bull, which I don't know how bulls are associated with like the guns. Maybe it's just the raw firepower and strength. I don't know. But that is what his creature is. It's like this giant like bull robot looking thing. And it's actually pretty cool. But front, you have the symbol on the window here. You have the symbol on the back side. On the spine, you have a nice picture of the figure. Other spine, you just have all of that. Top, there's what the top of the box. Bottom of the box is the same. And then the back side, you get him with all the different poses, stuff that he comes with, how you can pose him, and all that legal jargon at the bottom. So overall, really nice box. Figure comes in a clamshell on the inside. And let's take a look at this figure. Kamen Rider Zolda, again, I really did like this guy. His whole look, the color green, you know, I'm a big fan of green and everything like that. His weapons and stuff, all really, really cool overall design. Actually, what he really reminds me of is like, almost like a RoboCop Kamen Rider. He really kind of has that look, especially like, you know, in the face and stuff. It just kind of reminds me of the RoboCop helmet and the fact that he has like this big old pistol and everything like that. You know, granted, I do know from Kamen Rider Black RX, you had Robo Rider, which was 100% a ripoff of RoboCop, because that RoboCop came out around the same time that, you know, Kamen Rider Black RX was going on, so they definitely cashed in on the RoboCop look and style, because the Robo Rider from Black RX, he moves, the way he has the giant gun that kind of comes out of like his thigh area and stuff like that, that is all just RoboCop copy and paste. And I just love it. It's great. But again, this guy, again, definitely gives me that RoboCop Kamen Rider feel, and I love it. He just looks awesome. Great colors, great detail, great articulation, good round of accessories. Let's dive right on into this figure. Let me go ahead and get him to stop. Couldn't get him right dead center like I usually do, but that's okay. Let's get the Lazy Susan out of the way, and let's take a closer look at this guy. So Kamen Rider Zolda here, just looking at paint, sporting very nice greens, silvers, a little bit of gold, dark grayish, some reds, you know, really, really good, just clean paint all the way around. Again, just no bit of slop. It looks good. Again, if this guy was just sitting on a shelf, you know, I would pretty much say, oh man, he looks like an SH Figuarts figure. Figma is definitely decent competition, you know, kind of like how Haya is to SH Monster Arts. And one thing I will say about Figma is there is that price difference. Figma figures are anywhere from like 35 to, I want to say, 40 bucks is the standard for like a Figma figure like this, versus when you have a Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts, that figure is anywhere from 75 to about $100 per figure. So you do have a pretty big price difference there, but overall still great quality figure here. Again, the greens look really nice, all the silvers in his armor, you got the bits of gold and everything. Again, you get a little bit of reds here and there, little bit of a blue purple right there, but just even the gun. Granted, I know the SH Figuarts that exists of this guy, there are differences to where, like, you know, the pattern and the symbol on his gun is actually like a raised texture. It's not just like painted on there. Same thing for like his belt. So you do have minor differences like that you can tell a difference between a Figma and an SH Figuarts, but I'm still not going to complain. If I never do get the SH Figuarts Zolda, because I do know that they're coming out with a version of him in their new Shinkochu Seiho line, but if I don't ever get my hands on that, this guy will be a very good permanent stand-in for Kamen Rider Zolda. I'm pretty satisfied, so I don't even know if I'll even ever pick up an SH Figuarts. But Definitely still interested in a lot of the SH Figuarts that Tamashii Nations has in store for us this year. I mean, they're doing Black RX, they're doing several of the Ryuki riders. Again, they're doing, I believe, Knight, they're doing the purple one, all in that Shinkochu Seiho line. So really excited. But overall, really nice paint. Again, you got really nice gunmetal colors on here as well. Dark grays, golds. I mean, he just looks great from head to toe. Looks fantastic. Detail-wise on this guy, again, just all the detail in the helmet, all that mechanical, robot-looking detail. Again, all in the armor. Again, it's a solid figure. This is a very solid figure. All the detail patterns and everything in his like green suit areas look really nice. Hands nicely detailed. Overall, just great. Again, you know, even the gun's really nice. Really nice detail all the way around with this guy. Just looks great. Articulation, he can look up, but not like super far just because of the bulkiness of his helmet, but he can look up about that far. He can look down pretty far until you pop the head off. But you can just lock that back in. As you can see, he can look pretty far down decently. Now my camera doesn't want to focus on the figure, but good. Little bit of tilt action. You can look left, you can look right. These little shoulder armor pieces might get in the way, but you can kind of lift up his chin to where he can kind of go over those in a way, but just barely, as you can see. So just be mindful of that. You don't want any paint rub. Shoulders, his little shoulder armor pieces, this one's kind of loose on mine. This one is a little more stationary, but you can move those around and you can get decent ranges out of the shoulders. You can get about lifted up so far, straight down. He's got a bicep swivel. You can bend them forward, bend them backward, all the way around if you want. Nicely jointed elbows. Hands are on a hinge and a peg system, so you can rotate those how you want. It's not a ball joint system, it's actually a peg that's in there, but we'll get into that when we get into the hands. So really good articulation though. He can bend forward about that far, he can crunch forward about that far, you can get some tilt side to side as well as turn left and right. He doesn't really have anything in the waist, but if you guys can tell, this material for his body is very flexible. It's very bendable. So you do get like a sense of almost like realism, I want to say, with this guy. Just because of the way that they did that segmented body piece. It's not like a solid plastic. It is very bendy and pliable. Same thing down here in his crotch area. This is all very squishy and bendy just to help with the range of movement and kicks, but you do get some of that ugly kibble on the minus side of that. But you can't get a full spread, but almost splits. He's got a thigh swivel in there. Again, you can kick the legs up if they allow, but the ball joints stick right back on really easily, but you can kick up, and you see now how that flap is out. That is what I'm talking about. You just gotta kind of tuck that right back in there. If that ever does happen, if it'll let me, work its way, pop that leg back on, and then there you go. So you see, you can kick forward, you can kick backward ever so far, but again, you are going to run into those issues depending on how far you extend his legs. You just have to bend those flaps back under there so then you have that clean line. Knees, very nicely double jointed knees. The knees are really good bend at the knees. Those feel really good. No boot cuts or anything like that. A little bit of turn at the knee, but not a lot. Feet, you can tilt down, tilt up. You can get some pivot action and you can turn them left and right, but nothing crazy. But it's enough articulation to get the job done. You can get some good poses out of this guy, and he just looks great on the shelf. So overall, good articulation, few minor hiccups here and there, but overall is decent. As you can see, the back side of this figure, again, you get to see more of how they threw all of that together and everything else. So some articulation and certain choices in some areas aren't better than Tamashii, but it's pretty dang close. Accessories for this guy. See if I can just get him to stand on his own. He's actually pretty well balanced to where you can. Accessories for this guy. Figma. I definitely like where they're going with these figures. I'm not sure how old this figure is. This figure's probably older. But just like in SH Figuarts, he comes with many pairs of hands. So, I mean, you have fist hands, which again, these are on a peg and hinge system versus a ball joint system. So here's how they look plugging in and out. They do plug in and out very easily. He does have a hand to where it looks like he could hold a card, but you know, this figure does not come with any cards. So you got two fists, you got the card holding hand. He's got these hands, which are used to grip one of his other accessories that he comes with. He's got this type of like open laxed hand, another open laxed hand, and then kind of like another open hand, fingers sprawled, kind of like I have on his hand currently. And then he has the hand that holds his pistol gun. Before I get to the big accessory, something that Figma does get points over Tamashii Nations, he comes with an action stand. Simple action stand, you just plug it in right into the base, and it doesn't necessarily hold like firm. As you can see how easy that goes in and out. It doesn't like, it's not like a snug feel, but it holds the figure, and then the weight of the figure. Actually, is it the bottom one? No, it's not the bottom one. Oh, no, it actually is. Nope. That makes more sense. I was like, there's no way that stand is that bad. Shows you how much I have messed with the stand. But really nice stand. I mean, it's just your basic action arm stand. But you know what? This is where it just goes a long way. Because, again, Tamashii Nations, they never really send stands with their figures anymore. All their stands are sold like separately. And it's really annoying. I wish that the figures would just come with either an action stand, a stand with a cradle to do a flying form or whatever. It would help out and beef up, you know, some of the price points that some of these figures are. Like, for example, Jet Jaguar from SH Monster Arts. Oh, you can put him in a flying pose. You can put the little antennas in his head to make it look like, you know, he's flying and everything like that. Oh, is there a stand or a cradle that supports him coming with this figure? No, you gotta figure that out on your own. So again, him coming with a stand, it goes a long ways. Whether you use stands or not, it goes a long ways. The peg here just pegs right into his back, really snug. It's actually super tight. You wouldn't want to put that on all the way, but it does help him if you want to do any type of like action stands, have him float in the air, you know, whatever. I don't know. But it is nice that he comes with a stand. It is very nice that he comes with a stand. And then his one big time accessory that he comes with his giant cannon gun. This thing is awesome. The detail and paint on this is really great. It comes in two pieces out of the box, but you just find where those plug in together, and boom, just like that, you have his giant cannon gun. He can hold it on the handles that are here. You got the little sight thing. Again, paint and detail on this thing is really nice. The only thing I did notice about mine is that this piece was not glued on like square, so it has a little bit of like a tilt, and I was trying to see if that could even rotate, but you can't rotate that piece at all. So mine's just kind of stuck a little crooked, but you know what? I'm willing to let it slide. That's okay. It's really a nice piece. Again, you got greens, golds, little bit of gray gunmetal color in there. And this even has articulation. This back part here actually hinges and opens up because that's the way it is in the show. Like when it's primed and ready to fire, it's kind of like in this position. Which again, later on in the show, when this piece is like attached to the creature, you know, his monster or whatever it is, each of these are like the arms. So one arm is the cannon, and then this arm is actually like a Gatling gun piece. But when his weapon is in this stage, I only ever remember him using the cannon part. I don't think he ever had it flipped like this to where he used the Gatling part of it. But that's not to say that you couldn't just turn this around, have him hold it this way as so, and just raining down fire and brimstone. But this is really cool. Again, it's nice that it has these added articulation points at the very end here. And it's a decent weighted accessory. It's not actually as heavy as you would think it is, but even without the stand, I've gotten this guy to hold this and hold a pose without falling over. So that definitely speaks volumes. That's really good, because usually an accessory of this size and caliber, normally you'd have a nightmare of a time getting a figure to stand without a support stand along with it. But I have been able to pose this guy with this, no problem, no stand whatsoever. So anyway, let's wrap up this review. I never do any size comparisons or anything with these figures. They're all that standard 6-inch scale, nothing crazy. Again, he will fit in with your other SH Figuarts as well, even though he is a Figma figure. His scale is just a touch smaller, but again, it's barely noticeable. Overall, great figure, great accessories. Figma, you did really good on this. I might actually have to look into possibly other Figma figures, you know, if I don't want to shell out the prices that Tamashii Nations has. I might have to see what Figma's got in the game, because I don't have a lot from Figma in my collection. But this is a nice reminder that Figma exists, and they are pretty good. So, as always, you guys, we are Godzilla Fan Freaks, aka Kamen Rider Fan Freaks. Hope you enjoyed my review today on the Figma Kamen Rider Zolda figure. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Atomic blast that notification bell. Atomic blast that like button. Rider kick that notification bell. Rider kick that like button. Helps out a lot. Stay tuned for future, figure reviews and stuff like that. Don't forget to like and follow Godzilla Fan Freaks over on Facebook and Instagram. And without further ado, we will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.
Ugh!